a couple more friendlies left to go. I wish we had more, but we don't. But Connor, with those ones left, I kind of want to get all three of yours last points on this, and it'll be, what do you kind of want to see in the upcoming preseason games right before the season start?
What I enjoyed was the experimentation with that first game already. I liked that it was two complete different teams over the two halves, really. If, please, we don't have any more preseason friendlies cancelled, it'd be good to maybe we try that, but we try it less. So maybe we give them more than 45 minutes. Then we make the check. We do something. I'd like to see, again, I love Skippy. I will defend Skippy to the end of the earth. I want to see more Skippy. I always want to see more Skippy, to be honest. I want to see different systems used, whether it's experimenting a bit more with Solomon and Kulu, and Son wasn't played as well. I'd just like to see maybe different lineups tried. And again, we didn't see Dyer. That's not a good thing. I shouldn't say that we didn't see Dyer. Roden, again, that was another player whose career we potentially ruined. What I would like to see is, for for example, like Gio played well that 45 minutes, and Solomon played well, and we haven't seen Ndombele yet. So I'd like to see those players a little bit more before we start thinking that Gio is on this massive redemption arc. For me, Reggie looked awful. I know it's 45 minutes, but I really was not convinced by him at all. So I'd like to have more clarity, at least from my, because maybe Ange sees something from my perspective if he's good enough, and then you push him there. So just more experimentation, more minutes, and just don't lose to the Lion City Sailors, please. Please don't. That is the last thing we need going into this season. Yeah, but it'll be good. Let's just hope they're not cancelled anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think the weather's looking very good for Lion City Sailors. So hopefully that one does go ahead. But Sonny, what's your kind of thoughts? What are you kind of hoping to see or achieve, so to speak, in these preseason games coming up?
Well, I'd say we've got 3 different levels of games, haven't we? We've got Lion City Sailors, who are like down here. Then we've got Shakhtar, and then we've got Barcelona. So in all those, I'd like to see, I want to see Son, obviously. I feel like I want to see how he can do in an Ange system. I'd like to see, especially in that Barcelona game, that should be, I think it's only a few days before the Brentford game. So I'd like to see our strongest team as these games go along. I want to see what Ange's perfect team is. But then also I would like to see some experimentation and seeing how versatile players could potentially be. Like maybe try some of the wing backs in midfield, see if that works. Maybe see if like Emerson Royal can work as a right centre back as a stopgap. I don't know, because if we're not getting close to these centre back signings, that might have to happen. And yeah, maybe I want to see more of Vicario, mainly with his feet as well, because I feel like we didn't really see a lot of that in the last game. I feel like he was being remembered for his saves, and he actually did make a really good save in that game as well. And more from what we saw in the West Ham game, good passing, a lot of chances. That was the definition of a game where you could see it was the first game with all these players, but they did have a lot of chances, and a lot of them were on target. If it weren't for Fabianski being very good that day, we could have easily won that. So just pretty much the same from that. If we can replicate that again, my one main thing that I don't want 11 subs, because I feel like we need a bit of cohesion. Maybe they do 5 at a time, don't they? Sometimes in these preseason games, towards the end, like I just want to see a lot of the starters sort of making an impact on the team, because the Premier League is not far away now.
It's really not. The days are counting down. But yeah, I think, like you said, I want to see some more passages of play, because there was quite a few that were positive in that game, and I just hope that continues. Jay, obviously, your last thoughts on how you want to see the next couple of preseason games go?
I want to see 7-0 at half-time against Lion City Sailors, because that's what it should be, and it would make me so much more confident for when Colchester come and play us in the FA Cup next year, and I don't have to go, this is where we struggle. I've already got visions of them scoring a corner in the first minute when we play them, and us going 1-0 down, and then all over Twitter it's going to be an absolute hellhole. I'd like to see a strong 11 start, have the game won by half time, then give a chance to all of the youngsters, which I think this game will be the last game where we do the 11 for the 11, as in like substitutes. And then I think the the other games, I think, like Sonny said, it's got to be the team that's going to start as much as possible and then give some chances to people that might have a chance in there, or some of the youngsters, because obviously they might not get as much game time and they might need the advertising window for their loan moves for the season ahead. But yeah, I just want to see convincing Spurs, and I just don't know about that Barcelona game, whether I'd sacrifice my best 11 for a fully fit first 11 against Brentford. I really don't know. It's a tough one. It is a tough one, but it depends on, obviously, trust in Ange. That's the main thing. Trust in Ange.
100. I think that's the thing. I think we've got to that point now where we've gone through these managers that were winners. I know that Ange is a winner everywhere he's been. So it'd be interesting to see how he takes this new Tottenham side forward and into the new Premier League season. It is a lot to be excited for. Obviously, we've got a lot of stuff obviously hanging over our heads with Kane and with the 2 centre-backs, but I'm hoping they can all get sorted before we start this Premier League, because I can't be dealing with it if not.